All right, welcome back, YouTube. So this is the first painting update I've done in a month. You know, I told you guys on YouTube that likely the month of March was gonna be I was gonna be MIA from YouTube for the most part for the month of March, and then also I probably wasn't gonna get as much painting done as I normally did. Both of those things held to be true. For those of you who don't know, I started a new job like the last day of February, and I've just been busy. Not so much busy with the job, but just busy reacclimating to my new schedule and the job and all that stuff, while still maintaining my family and gym commitments. So I haven't got much painting done, but I'm gonna show off some of the things I got done, and then some of the things that I acquired this month, and maybe that's it. Maybe I'll do a separate video for the other topic I wanted to do. But what we got in front of you here are 12 attacking Principes. These are from Gripping Beast, so it's the same, from the previous. I did a batch of 20 that I more or less finished the day before I went back to work, and these are the last 12. So these will give me 2 complete units of. I'll have essentially 2 units of Triaria, 2 24-man units of Triari, Principe, and Hastade, all ready to go. So just to flesh out my Republican Roman forces, they were, all from Gripping Beast. I didn't want to buy another plastic set from Vitrix because that would be overkill for what I needed, because they come in 60-man sets, and I didn't really want a full, and I didn't want the light troops, and I didn't need all the commands and blah blah blah. So I just I got some four figure packs from Gripping Beast just to flesh out, because the Gripping Beast and Vitrix figures, they fit in perfectly scale wise. So I did that, and then also I had to finish all the shields for the guys that I painted, which shields always just a giant time sink because you got to prep them. You gotta do the prep on the shield decals. You gotta get the decals on. You got to paint the shields afterwards, and then you got to glue them on. And my master plan was, I had a bunch of Vitrix shield decals left over from when I did the couple of Vitrix box sets that I bought for Republican Romans, but I didn't have any more shields left. So my big brain move was, I'll just buy their loose shield packs because they sell loose shields. I did that. The only problem is, and I'll show here, the shields don't have arm sockets. You can see they're just flat. So the normal Vitrix shields that come with the figures, they have little round holes that you can insert the fist into to really secure them good, to really get the glue in there good, and these don't have them. And where it's plastic on metal, I'm having to super glue them, and they just started shearing off. Like, they just would not stay on there. So what I ended up having to do is find a second point of contact for the shield, which was usually the greave or the foot, depending on, not the foot, but the base of the metal figure to rest the shield on. So I had to go back and fix a bunch of shields. But yeah, these Principes in front of you, they're about 30% done. I got the base coat. I'll just explain what I got on them done so far. I know I only like showing off completed painted units, and I still want to get these guys done for March. So I've done the armor, both helmet greave and chainmail, and then I did the first base coat on the flesh, and then I did the wash on the armor. So the next step will be to wash the flesh, do leather, do the tunic, do the skin, and then all the little miscellaneous touches. So they're about 30% done. I think I could finish them up in the next 4 days. That's my goal. My goal is, so that way I at least completed 12 miniatures for the month, because April 6th I'm going to Greece for 10 days. So I'm probably not going to get a lot of painting done in April either. So April and March are going to be bust months for me, but once again, my goal for April would probably be to do another. I'm going to set a little bit more of an ambitious goal for April and say 24 miniatures. I want to paint 24 Persians up in April. So if I can get the next contingent for my Sparabara archers done in April, I'll be pretty happy with that. And then maybe I can get, 2 completed spar bar units done by May, and then paint some cavalry in June. Yeah. And then that way, that'll give me enough troops for our first battle through history. So I'm not expecting the entire 350 miniature army to be painted by June, because that's going to be both early and late augmented troops in there. But I do expect to have at least 150, 200 done, because I already got 12 cavalry, I got 12 cavalry, a unit of Sparbara, a Kardaka, and an archer unit. So I already got 4 units done. So I damn near got, let's see, what's 40 plus 24, 64 plus another 12, 76 plus another 16. So I damn near got 100 miniatures done. So if I can just get a couple more units of Sparabara done, put me at the 130-ish mark, I think that'll be plenty of troops to do our first battle with. Because the first battle's marathon. So it's not a terribly large battle. I mean, it is in the ancient world, for archaic Greece, right? But, it's not a Galgamela battle where you got hundreds of thousands of dudes out on the battlefield, right? So that's the goal, and I think it's still attainable. And who knows, maybe I can get even a little bit more done in April. It just depends on how much motivated I am, how much time I have. So I think 24 is going to be the bare minimum. I got 12 done this month. February I got like 75, 76 done. So as long as I just don't have any zero production months, I think I'll be fine. So on to the second part. All right. Well, what we got in front of you is something you've already seen if you've watched the video. But these are the 20 previous Gripping Beast Romans. And as you can see now, they have their shields on them, because I went back and I did the shields for everybody. I haven't been able to base them yet because I ran out of this stuff, which is what the rest of the Republican Army, or I should say 75% of it, all the infantry at least, is based on this stuff. So as the ground coat, and I didn't have any, so I had to wait for that to come in. But it came in last week, so I can get, my goal is to get these guys done tonight. Get just the earth texture on them tonight, so that way I can flock them, the next day, and then they will be done, and then they'll be with their respective units. So 2 command figures that I want to use that on too. The single Primus Pilot Centurion type dude. I don't know, you can call him a Legate, or maybe, I don't know. He's just a single command figure I have. I do all my command figures on round bases. I figured I could use him as a hero or as a commander. But yeah, and then I got, of course, my favorite figure that I got from Relic Miniatures, Scipio Africanus. So the horse was really cool. The dying Iberian dude's really cool. So, yeah. So that is that. On to the third part of our video. Alrighty. Well, I might have to raise the tripod here. Get everything in frame. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. That should make it a little bit easier. Alright, so as you can see here, SDK of Z10 half track. These would have been used to pull flat guns, Pack 36s, 7.5 centimeter infantry support guns. I think LEFH 18 105 millimeter howitzers. I think I have seen pictures of these towing the 105 millimeter howitzer. That's what I wanted to use it for. Regardless, when I check my sources and see if that is not the case, then it will be used. I also have a 7.5 centimeter infantry support gun and 3 centimeter Pack 36s. So worst case, I have this as a tow for that. But the goal is to use the use this Rubicon light half track to tow my my 105 millimeter German howitzer, the LEFH-18. Now on to the most important part here. Lower the tripod again. Oh, you can see from what I bought. I bought 20 or so Gaddis Gaming miniatures. This was the last company that I have not bought from that I'm aware of that makes suitable early war, World War II miniatures. So I placed the order. They came in a very timely fashion within a week. The price is okay. When I got the box, I was actually a little shocked because on the box it said Old Glory on it. And then it clicked to me that Gaddis Gaming has Old Glory do their casting for them. And these are probably shipping direct from Old Glory. And furthermore, when I held up the miniatures, it looks like it's from Old Glory. Like these are very much in the Old Glory style. Pretty chunky. Now I like that. They're going to fit in fine with Crusader, I believe. Did a little pause there to go get some miniatures to size compare. Honestly, come on. Focus, baby. Wants to focus on my finger, not the soldata. There we go. Honestly, they'll fit in fine with the Warlord plastics. This is a Crusader or an Artisan. This is an Artisan. Artisan's still much taller. Let's get a Crusader. But we already knew that about the Artisans. Oh, even better than a Crusader, I will show them next to a black tree, my favorite. Here he is next to a black tree. Come on, camera. This thing never has problems focusing. There we go. He's a little bit chunkier than the black tree, but I think they'll fit in fine. So these are pretty much a go as far as size comparison, I think. A good variety of figures. They have a lot to choose from, but all is not perfect. I believe I ordered a heavy machine gun team, a 5cm mortar team, and a 10-man infantry squad. And separate light machine guns. But there are problems with some of this. Big problems. And I'll go over it here in a second. Number one, this is the light machine gun team. Now, I assume this came in a 2-man pack, just like the light mortar. So there he is. The tripod is a separate little piece of metal flash that you'll glue on there. Not a big deal. And actually, I really like this machine gun because, as you can see here, it has the drum on there. The reason why the drum is important is because a lot of people don't understand this, but with machine guns, you don't run around with a giant belt hanging off the gun. And you don't run around with the gun empty as well. And this is true in World War II, and it's true today. You have what's called a starter belt. And the Germans were the ones to invent this. It's just a small 50 to 75 round belt that usually sits in some sort of a box off the side of the gun. The Germans had a drum box, and it just held 50 rounds. And the gunner would walk around with those 50 rounds on the gun. And if you took contact, that would be the first thing to go out the gun. And then the assistant gunner and ammo bearer would be with the gunner with the ammo cans full of the 200 round belts to feed the gun after that. And that's so if the gunner needs, if you get any sort of close ambush or the gunner needs to do any sort of reactionary fire, he can do that without having to wait 40 seconds for him and the AG to slam a new belt into the gun. Because loading a belt-fed machine gun is not like loading a box-fed weapon. Like, you got to open up the top cover. You got to make sure the rounds are seated right. You got to charge the weapon, and then you can get into the fight. So yeah, that's those guys. And then also, there was the 5cm mortar team. not going to show it. Come on. Yeah, 5cm Mortar Team. He has the straps on his helmet. Very nice touch. I don't know why all the companies, and I mean all the companies do this, Crusader, Warlord, and apparently Gaddis Gaming, they only give you 2-man crews for your mortars, but whatever, I'll supplement. And then the rest of this is a 10-man squad, a 10-man infantry squad. Now I assume when you buy a 10-man German infantry squad, it comes with a machine gun, but apparently that is not the case. Or they messed up my order royally here. When I first saw it, I thought that this guy right here was the AG, holding the bipod for the machine gun, and then I would glue them together in place. Notice he has an MP40. Not a big deal. Well, there's no guy with a light machine gun in the 10-man pack. The rest of the, you know, some of these guys aren't going to stand up because they're in a weird, awkward running pose. But yeah, you can see here, the rest of the 10 guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'll get them better in frame here. Yeah, these 10 guys, there's no machine gun. Furthermore, what's even more awkward for a 10-man squad, not counting that assistant, who I think is an assistant gunner with that's holding the bipod. Maybe he's prepping a grenade, but there's 3 more MP40 guys. 1 firing from the kneeling, 1 running, and then this is obviously the squad leader guy telling him to get down, or about ready to tell him to follow. But yeah, I don't know why there's 3/4, and then if you count the AG here, or what I think is an AG, that's 4. I don't know why he'd be prepping a hand grenade with 2 hands like that, holding it like a club, like a baseball bat. That's why I think it's supposed to be a guy with a tripod, or the bipod of the machine gunner, and the machine, you know, the machine gun would be over his shoulder, firing it in that like assault position that Germans were known to do. But yeah, I don't know. I'm missing my light machine gun guy. I can kit bash a standing machine gun guy. It's not that big of a deal. Honestly, I'm not going to ride him. I'm not even going to tell him, because for one thing, I'm not going to be buying any more Gaddis Gaming miniatures. Number 2, Gaddis isn't going to be able just to go into his spares bin and then ship me an extra miniature that he forgot to put in the pack. These had Old Glory's address and name on the shipping label on the box. So I don't think he's going to have to contact Old Glory, and then Old Glory is going to have to ship the miniature that they messed up on. And it's just going to be a big fiasco, and I don't feel like dealing with it. And then that I could even get over. But what I really don't like about the miniatures, and this is a little bit of a pet peeve of mine, and I've talked about this with the miniatures from oh hell, not Crusader, the oh god. Oh Lord, I can't remember the big ass chunky guys. These guys I painted up. The problem, it'll probably come to me in a minute. The rifle is a midget rifle. That rifle barrel is way too small, and they're all like that. They're all really small. They almost look like Carcano carbines. But that's a really short Car 98. The rest of the rifle looks fine. But like these are super short rifles. The MP40s are fine. The MP40s, 100% fine. There's the MP40. But the rifles are like midget rifles. And the light machine gun that I got in the separate light machine gun pack. That's also beautiful. You can clearly tell it's an MG34, round barrel. Yep. But yeah, the rifle barrels are tiny. So the fact that I didn't get a machine gunner, but I got an assistant machine gunner that I have to kit bash a figure for, the fact that the rifle barrels are really small, but the figures overall are really chunky. And on the pack I haven't opened yet, I don't know if the bipod, I'm going to open up in front of you guys just to make sure, but it's supposed to have the heavy tripod, and it doesn't have the heavy tripod. It has something else that I don't know what the hell it is. So I think they messed up the casting, because you can see here the part of the tripod is molded onto the weapon. You see the gun sight, you see the cradle for the actual gun, and then you got your assistant, your ammo bearer right there feeding the belt, and then you got your assistant gunner slash team leader over there with his binoculars giving an order. And then I have half of a tripod mount. So there's no other legs in the set. So I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do with this. This is literally half of a Lafayette mount. Like legitimately half of a mount. And I don't even know like what half it's supposed to be. Like this is like, it's really peculiar. Like what is it supposed to be like this? So that is not what a Lafayette mount looks like. For reference, in case some of you guys don't know, our World War II guys. This is what a Lafayette mount looks like in its low position. Now those legs that are folded up, those can actually be extended, and it can be raised. The mount can be raised. That's the way it's supposed to look. And these would have been the heavy. This is when for the heavy platoons. So these are the MG34 heavy guns that would have these tripods on them, right? That's what it's supposed to look like, but that's not what we got. So I don't know if they just forgot the other half of the tripod, or if it's just their own weird thing. But yeah, I can't really use that. So I'm going to probably, with green stuff and some metal sprue, I'm probably going to kit bash the rest of the tripod. But that is to be determined on that. And so that really has annoyed me with Gaddis Gaming. Nothing, it's not like I'm going to trash these miniatures or sell them. I'll still paint them up. But the fact that now I got to kit bash 2 miniatures to get correct, and then I don't really like the rifle barrels that much, it's kind of like meh. So needless to say, I don't think I'm going to be getting a lot of Gaddis Gaming stuff. I mean, if you want to see rifle comparisons here, here's a Black Tree design rifle, which I particularly like. I think the proportions of the Black Tree rifle, and there's the little stubby rifle. You can tell it's shorter. Like, it's a lot shorter. I think the Black Tree design barrel is perfectly done correctly. I think it's good proportions. You know, this is the Artisan. I was forgetting the name. This is the Artisan rifle, and while I think the detail is complete trash, I think the length is okay. It might be a little short, but I think it's acceptable. And then once again, we got the Warlord, which is probably the best out of any of them, which is perfect. But I mean, if you hold the Warlord rifle, which I think is perfect, next to the rifle, like that is a midget rifle. Midget rifle. Straight up midget rifle. And the fact that it's chunky but short makes it even worse. It insinuates it, you know? So yeah, that's kind of been a long-winded update for me. But you know, I wanted to show some miniatures off that I've worked on. I wanted to show some product that I've acquired. So that's it for this month. I'm gonna do another video here today and post it on paintbrushes and my experience with paintbrushes over my 4 years of hobbying, because I've gone down the rabbit hole paintbrushes, and I think I got some stuff to reflect on that could help some newer guys out, or maybe even some experienced guys that have been curious about some of these paintbrush companies. So till then, next time, guys, keep on painting.